As you guys can see, we're not at the Toasty Bros office. We're here at the new Microcenter in Santa Clara, California, because today we're gonna be doing a $1,500 All AMD build challenge. Let's not waste any more time. We gotta tell you more about this awesome new Santa Clara Microcenter that we've been spending the past hour or so walking around and taking a look at, because there's a lot of cool stuff and you can cash in on some great deals. As you guys can tell, we're gonna be building a $1,500 gaming PC in today's video, but Microcenter right now is hosting an awesome laptop savings event where you can cash in on some great deals on a wide range of different laptops. Whether you're looking for a work laptop or gaming laptop, Microcenter has you covered for their laptop savings event. You can see specific deals by checking the links down below. And as you guys can tell, the Santa Clara location is finally open. Be sure to stop in today to visit this cool store or use the links down below to find the closest Microcenter to you to take a look at all the awesome deals they have to offer in DIY building it yourself or even laptops. Thanks again to Microcenter for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to this build challenge. Now that we talked about this awesome new Microcenter, which guys, if you're in the area, I definitely recommend coming and take a look, especially if you haven't been to a Microcenter before. We love doing these build challenges here, and since I'm here with our Toasty Bros team, we're gonna have some fun today with a $1,500 All AMD PC. Now the parts of the wheel spin are as follows. We know the budget already. It's gonna be $1,500. We have to go All AMD because I think we're gonna get the best value doing that, and we're going to need to pick what game to play, the FPS total, which I did select two different wheels. One is a much higher FPS average and one's a much lower FPS average because we have a mix of esports and AAA titles. I want to make sure we get the proper adequate FPS that we can achieve for each one. We'll touch on that in just a second. And then we add a random caveat here where we either need a liquid cooler, we need RGB, 2 terabyte SSD, no RGB, an air cooler or a liquid cooler, and we're going to spin the wheel and we're going to see what our fate is. So let's go ahead and figure out what game we have to play. We got some new games in here, which I'm excited to see. Oh guys. Bitch Marcus is making a return, ladies and gentlemen. Oblivion Remastered is what we're going to be playing, which is a very demanding Unreal Engine 5 game. I think that AMD hardware is going to really like it though. But since this is a higher end game, we're going to focus on more obtainable FPS numbers. I noticed I put 9,600 on the wheel. That is not going to be it. We're not going to get 9,000 FPS in this game. Let's go and spin this wheel. I have a feeling I'm going to get 90 though, no matter what. Let's see. What is my 90 FPS, which is doable. Generally, let me ask you off camera, 1440p or not?
Let's do it.
1440p. This is 1440p medium settings that we're gonna run with for this game. Oblivion Remastered, it's gonna be a bit tough, but 90 FPS is what we're looking for. Obviously, we'll mess around some upscaling if we need to, but we're gonna go all natural to start. And the caveats. What do I have to include in this build? I'm kind of scared what this is gonna be. Oh boy, we cannot have any RGB. No RGB. So we got to go for a stealthy build. Obviously, we have to go no RGB. I'm trying to see, motherboards have RGB. We got to make sure it has no RGB. We'll do what we can with that, but let's go over what our goals are. We have to play Oblivion Remastered. Again, All AMD $1,500 PC. We have to get 90 FPS, and it has no RGB in the build. Let's go find a Microcenter employee and get to shopping. All right, guys, so we've been looking around at some of the combos that Microcenter has to offer because, once again, that's the best part of coming to Microcenter, the CPU, motherboard, RAM combos. And we've been looking at some options. Obviously, we have the 7600X 3D. If you want to get the 3D cache and it being a Microcenter exclusive, that's an option we were talking about. We also, this 7700X combo really stood out to us because the difference between 9700X and 7700X, you think very minimal. Yeah. And the price performance looks really good at $349 because you get that 32 gigs of DDR5, you get the B650 gaming motherboard, and that would give us enough money for, we're thinking, because it's all AMD, 9070 XT.
We have a lot of options right now, especially in our store here. But if you're going full non-RGB, you'd either go with the Gigabyte overclock, which comes at 730.
Yep.
Or you'd start looking at the power colors, you know, the XFX black one, so something like this. So if you're going for as dark as you can get, you go for the XFX one.
Okay. I definitely think the best value would be that Gigabyte one. So, all right, let's do that. And then I guess let's just look around and see what the storage looks like. We already got RAM, motherboard, and CPU down. So we'll figure out what storage we can go with. Now that we save some money, 2 terabytes should be doable. So we go 2 terabytes on the storage, and then our GPU will be able to pick that up. So let's get going. Okay, we got the combo set, GPU. We're getting that ready to get put in the cart, but we wanted to look at power supply. I know the Microcenter employee was really recommending this Lee & Lee power supply, which, you know, here at the Toasty Bros, we only go pretty budget on the power supply, but given the availability and stuff that's going on right now in the store, I'm thinking this 850 is probably gonna be the best price performance right now. It says 119. Is it 109, I'm assuming?
It's 109.
Okay, so yeah, this one's 109. Seems to be the decent value, and 850 is probably about 100 watts. I think the minimum spec for 9070 XT is around 750 last time I checked. So 850 will give us a little headroom, and then from there, it's a new power supply we've been taking a look at, and it's pretty cool. ATX 3.0 if you ever want to go a different route, but we're going all AMD, and I think this will be a good power supply for the job. Let's take a look at the cooler selection. We're thinking air cooler because we're trying to get the best price performance, and of course we think price performance. We see thermal right here. We have the Phantom Spirit 120 SE, which I think we tested in our cooler roundup video, but this is an all black cooler because again, no RGB is very important for us guys. Now we had a couple options to go with. We could have gone with the Thermalright 120 XE Assassin, which is like the 120 mil CPU cooler, which will probably have worked okay, but we got a 7700X, 8-core 16 thread. We might as well get something a little beefier. We have those two fans here with the Phantom Spirit 120 SE. So I'm excited to use this. Now that we have our cooler set, we got to figure out if we can find a case that is all black. No RGB. I feel like the market is just flooded with RGB cases nowadays with free RGB fans. So we got to see what we can get to keep our all stealthy build working out. So we're looking around here, and I know the one employee told us that this was the case, the 216 that they've been pushing pretty heavy, and this one is out of stock though, the non-RGB version, because it's just good value at $100. Looking like a pretty nice case, but unfortunately out of stock at Microcenter. This place is pretty busy. There's a lot of stuff coming in and out here. So we're gonna go ahead and walk to the other side. I know Jonah's been mentioning like the H5 Flow, a couple other options that are around here, but hey, if you're building an RGB case, you're not gonna have any problems here, but for me, it's a bit more of a challenge. Oh, 124 is not bad. I don't know if we might be able to squeeze it, maybe. Oh, what is this? That's what we need right there. Oh, $94.99, is this non-RGB? That might be the one. Let's start with this. If we happen to have more money though, I wouldn't mind the Antec with the wood accents. That would look pretty good. More fan spray installed, because we wouldn't have a ton of fan spray installed, but it's gonna be enough to get the job done. We'll go and put this on the cart, and then from there, we gotta find somebody so we can get our storage and then get everything together and see what total we're at. So we now have everything sorted out. We have the power supply, the case, and the cooler. Now, I know we were discussing potentially getting some more fans, but based on this being a newer store, Microcenter is just selling stuff out so quickly. They don't have a ton of options for non-RGB fans that work great with the H5 Flow. So we're gonna save that $50 that we're gonna have left over, and we're going to go back to the office with this, and we'll just add in some of the fans that we have. When you go to a Microcenter, most likely, especially when things settle down, because it's a pretty big hype store, you'll have more availability and stuff you can throw inside your case if you copy this build at home. But I'm still thinking price performance is gonna be really good. We're actually gonna get that Samsung driver originally looking at, because that one you're saying is like 130, 140? 140, okay, cool. Yeah, that'll work. We'll get that, and now we're gonna check out and finally have our build ready to go. We had a lot of fun here at the Santa Clara Microcenter. We got the PC checked out. Now we gotta have the long journey back to Louisville, Kentucky to the Toasty Bros studio, and we're going to build this beautiful PC to see if we can meet our goal. Okay, guys. Jonah, and the PC parts have made it back from California, and Jackson, you can see the build I put together, but we already got to address one thing. You guys saw the wheel spin, and part of the challenge was no RGB. Well, the graphics card has RGB, but we could probably fix that with software, right? Maybe?
You know, I got the 5080 version of this at home, and I can change the RGB, so
maybe that means
there has to be an off, right?
There has to be an off, but we're gonna go over all the parts real quick because that shopping experience was a lot at the new Microcenter. I was very busy in that store, so good to them for that. Just funny note, by the way, for you guys at home, so we could do proper testing on this build, we paid $300 to ship it back. Yeah, $300 ship it back, but it looks like everything showed up in one piece, so let's go over all the stuff we got real quick. So Jackson, I got a CPU motherboard combo, CPU motherboard RAM combo.
Of course you save some money at Microcenter doing that.
Of course, it was $349 or $350 to be exact, the 7700X. We got the B650 motherboard and 32 gigs of G-Skill memory. And then for the storage, we ended up with the, let's see, where is it? Samsung 990 EVO, which normally we don't go for Samsung drives, but this was actually a respectable price coming in at $129, 2 terabytes, so good for our games.
It's pretty good for, I mean, pretty much the top of the line Gen 4 SSD you can get.
I didn't realize I didn't talk about the cooler. The CPU, the 7700X. We have the Phantom Spirit 120 SE, which is a pretty solid cooler. We got 2 big fans on it. This is the non-RGB version because, again, I was trying to go for that challenge, but the GPU decided to mess it up, and it's a nice big tower cooler, so get the job done.
Yeah, I like seeing, you know, Microcenter not only selling like the super high-end name brand stuff now, you're starting to see like some of these really cool, you know, smaller brands that are cheaper.
And I know coming soon is going to be Okinos. That's going to be really sick to see that at Microcenter. We also have our power supply, which is, well, right here, our Lee & Edge power supply, 850G, but 850 watts, 80 plus gold is a little over $100. Price performance is fine. I mean, it is a very unique power supply, that L-Connect design, and I'll show Jackson the removable fan filter.
Whoa.
So fancy.
Never seen that before, honestly, on Power Splice. That's cool.
It also has the thing you can buy separately where if you want the additional USB power for you using a bunch of lean devices, this will make your life so much easier. Trust us on that. And for the graphics card, is a little bit out of the traditional order we normally go in, but we got a gigabyte graphics card, the RX 9070 XT. This was an all AMD challenge, so of course we got to get, well, pretty much the best AMD GPU you can buy right now. See, Jackson's just showing the RGB. Don't worry about it. There's no RGB, guys. We paid $729 for it, which I think is a pretty solid price for the 9070 XT. You get the 16 gigs of VRAM. It's going to look really nice, a 3-fan card. And then we're putting everything inside the H5 Flow with the 2 black fans, because again, no RGB. More about that later. And we grabbed some extra fans because again, with our budget pre-tax, we were at $1,475, so we're a little under the $1,500 budget. We're able to add a couple fans if we wanted to. The fans at Microcenter weren't great for what we were doing, so we managed to get some at home in the office. Let's just build this PC. Can we play Oblivion with Bench Marcus at, what was the FPS I had to get? 90? 90 FPS, 1440p medium settings.
Oh yeah.
I think we got it. Bench Marcus is never gonna look so good. Let's build this PC.
All right, guys, so I'm testing out the PC here that we got put together, and show you guys the settings real quick, but Matt needed to get a goal of 1440p, 90 FPS, medium settings, so medium, 1440p, no ray tracing, no upscaling, no nothing.
Oh, it's so close. It's like 97 now, but we're still getting those dips into the 80s.
We did just load in, so
That's
you
true.
know, maybe it's, I will say the game looks really good.
It looks really good.
So good.
Shout out to the 9070 XT. I mean, we're using about 10 gigs of VRAM right now, pulling 328 watts on this bad boy. And all in all, the system is really good for Microcenter. This build really impressed me once we put it all together. You know, sometimes you buy these parts, you're like, is this actually gonna look good as a build? And it actually turned out to be pretty good. This is looking solid. How's Bench Marcus looking though? Oh, he's never looked so good. Oh my God, he's so fresh.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it's so fresh, it's crazy.
The crazy part is no plastic on that guy.
No plastic.
No plastic,
He's all
no.
natty. They didn't want to talk to you this time.
talk.
They said, we're going to fight immediately. Oh, now, this is classic Oblivion right here.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, no, we were in the store, we were debating the 9600X or the 7600X 3D. I think this was the best deal.
I think just the 8-core 16 thread, and like,
Yes.
I mean, hey, supposedly there's some, I know we were just looking at a game the other day where they were saying recommended like 8 cores.
Yeah.
So,
Well, so it's one of the closest challenges where I've like, the actual FPS is there. Like, it is almost there.
I feel like it's,
Yeah.
I think it's a pass. I mean, I think we're getting 100 consistently enough, and you know, just for fun, I want to show you guys.
Some settings, yeah.
I just love Unreal Engine 5's, you know, going to like some upscaling. We do FSR, of course. Let's do balanced and add some frame gen. It's
How many frames have we had? We're in 200 plus probably.
Hey, higher
It
frames
helped
right
a
now.
little bit. The frame gen didn't do as much as I thought it would, actually.
It is funny though, and see, we're using a little less than the GPU percentage-wise now.
Yep.
But other than that, still looks good. Still looks red.
Still looks very red, but you know what? It passes. You know, we'll give it the average pass. It did a good job. But what we'll do is run 3D Mark so we can get a simple point, because I think price performance, especially because of that CPU mother RAM combo, we're gonna get some pretty good numbers here with this PC. And yeah, we talk more about Microcenter and our entire journey to get this back. And I'm surprised it showed up in one piece, but it did, and the build looks great. Let's run those benchmarks and wrap this video up real quick. Into the sky, Benchmarkus!
So after Benchmarkus has made a return, I can definitely say this PC passed the challenge, barely, because Unreal Engine 5 is hard to run and kind of unoptimized, but they did a pretty good job building this PC. It looks really good and it performs great, and you guys will be pretty impressed by the 30 Mark TimeSpy score.
That 30 Mark TimeSpy score that Jackson mentioned was very impressive. It ended up being a score of 25,047, which is a 6 cent per point score, which I think is really good price performance for a high-end build. Yeah, it's expensive, but we saved so much money on that CPU motherboard RAM combo with that 7700X, which you can definitely take advantage of at your local Microcenter or the new Santa Clara location by using the links down below. That we built a really awesome PC that I'm very proud of. It looks really good, and it being no RGB. Look, guys, it's actually no RGB now. It looks great. I think we did a really good job, and shout out again to Microcenter for sponsoring this video. If you guys enjoy these challenges, let us know down below. And also give a big thanks to Microcenter in the comment section down below.
So anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
So if you guys can't get enough of the Toasty Bros and you want some sneak peeks behind the scenes, such as the Santa Clara trip on things like Instagram, X, Facebook, Discord, and so much more, make sure you check the links down below because we got all the social medias.
We made a lot of content while in Santa Clara, and you can see all that content on a bunch of different social media platforms. Links down below. See you guys later.